Well, we had finally reached the domain 4. Congratulations, everyone. We had literally covered domain 1, 2, and 3. This is the very time to touch base on the final domain of Snowflake Advanced Architect exam, that is domain 4.0 performance optimization. We will be covering everything here about query profiling, virtual warehouse configurations. We will understand what is auto suspend, what is auto resume, how the Snowpark optimization warehouses work, what are Gen 1, Gen 2 virtual warehouses, what is clustering, and then we also discuss about search optimization service, query isolation service, and then we will also discussing about the three type of caches. Then we will be moving to 4.2 lesson where we will be troubleshooting the performance issues within the existing architecture, where we will be understanding about warehouse monitoring, optimization techniques, micro partition pruning, and then finally we will be covering the monitoring and alerting part, where we will be discussing about account usage and information schema. We will also touch base on the difference between account usage and information schema. Then we will also understand the resource monitoring, alerts and notification, and finally we will discuss about logging and tracing using the event tables. Let's start with our first topic, that is query performance tuning. Snowflake provides two primary features for analyzing query performance and executions, that are query profile and query insight. We'll start first with the query profile. The query profile is a powerful diagnostic tool in Snowflake Web UI that offers a detailed breakdown of single query execution. Okay, it is used to understand how Snowflake process a query and to pinpoint the performance bottlenecks. It is really helpful to see all the complete diagnostics thing of your query. Let's go to the definition. Is a feature in Snowflake UI that gives you a detailed insight into the execution of query. Okay, it contains a visual representation of the query plan with all the nodes and links represented. Execution detail and statics are provided for each node as well as the overall query. This is how query profile looks in Snowflake interface. It is having a complete representation of the query execution plan, and it is having a couple of more options. It shows the profile preview. It also shows the statistics, and it also shows the most expensive nodes around. Okay, so it starts with a table scan. It scans the data, and here only it filters the data, and then it move further based on the query complexity. When should I use query profile? The query profile, if I say, should be used whenever diagnostic information about a query is needed. Okay, a common example is to understand why a query is performing a certain way. Suppose you have a query, you want to see and reveal the stages of the query that make him either significant longer than other processes. Okay, similarly, you can use the query profile to even figure out why a query is still running and where it is getting stuck. So this is really very helpful and very important. Okay, another useful application of query profile, if I say, is to figure out why a query did not return the desired result by carefully studying the links between the nodes. Okay, like see here, links and nodes, you can potentially identify the parts of the query that are resulting in dropped rows or duplicates or maybe anything third, which may explain you why you are seeing the unexpected results in your output. This is another UI explanation of the query profile, but let's start with the execution time summary. Execution time summary shows what percentage of total query execution time was actually spent on different buckets. Okay, it is having four options, right? Processing, local disk, remote disk, initialization. What is processing? Processing is just the time spent of on query processing operations like joins or aggregations or filters or let's say sorts, etc., etc. Okay, what is local disk then? Local disk is the time spent reading and writing data from or to local SSDs. Okay, this would include things like spilling to disk, okay, or even reading the cached data from your local SSDs. Okay, what is remote disk? Remote disk is the time spent reading and writing data from and to remote storage. Local disk is for local storage and it includes things like spilling to disk, and remote disk is for remote storage like S3 or blob storage, and this includes things like spilling to remote disk and even reading your data sets. Okay, makes sense. Fourth is initialization. This is just a overhead cost to start your query on warehouse. In our experience, it is always extremely small, okay, and relatively constant. Cool. Now let's talk about the second part, which is query statistics. Information like number of partitions scanned out of all the positive partitions you can find here, as you can see. Note that this is across all the tables in the query. Fewer partitions scanned means the query is pruning very, very well. In this case, if you see, the total partitions was 3242 and it only scanned 491, and this is a really good thing. It shows that query pruning is working very well. If your warehouse even doesn't have enough memory to process your query, okay, and it is actually spilling to disk, and that information will also be reflected here. Okay, as of now in this image you are not seeing it, but in next image I will show you that as well. Third is the number of records shared between each nodes. If you see, this information is very, very, very helpful to understand the volume of data being processed. Okay, if you see, initially the records is 227 million, but when the aggregation got completed, it only left to 12. Okay, so it shows each node and it shows all the volume after each node, and it is helpful in knowing how each node is reducing or expanding that number. Fourth one here is the percentage of total execution time of each node. If you see this query, if I talk about this query, in this query, table scan took 83% of my time. 0.3% of time was taken by filter. 16% of my time is taken by aggregator. Okay, it indicates the percent of total execution time spent on the operator. In this example, as I just told, 83 to 83% is this one, and then information followed by others, so on. On the top right of the query profile, we can see that there are other options called most expensive nodes, and it indicates that among my all these 5 nodes, which 2 nodes consume the most of my time. This is the another in detailed one. As I mentioned earlier, you can click on each node, okay, to reveal additional execution details, then statistics. On the left you can see the result of the table scan operator. If I had clicked on table scan operator, I will be seeing this detail, and similar way, if I had clicked on aggregator, I will be seeing this detail. Okay, let's see where you can find this in Snowsight as well. I am into my Snowsight now. I will go in monitoring, and I will click on query history, and this will show me my query history. And here I will, let's say, I will just open any random query. Okay, I will open this procedure and I will go to query profile. See guys, this is how you can access the query profile in your Snowflake. Other way to access the query profile is you can go to worksheets, open any worksheet, and if you just do the select from any table, let's say company dot public dot books. So if I run this query, it ran, and where you can click on these 3 dots, and if you see here, you will get the option of view query profile. You click on this and a new tab will be open, and here you can see the query profile. Cool. Now let's talk about query insights. Query insights is nothing but a message that shares information about the query, okay, that is actually causing the performance issue. This not only actually provides information on how performance is impacted, but to be very fair, it also offers recommendations, okay, to fix or even improve your performance issues. Okay, let's go to definition. And query insight is a feature that builds on query profile by automatically detecting conditions that might affect performance and offering actionable recommendations. Cool. And query insights is a account usage view and can be used same way as the other usage views. This view have specific columns that share information about queries, warehouses, and three key columns, that is insight ID, messages, and suggestions. As we just discussed, that it also provides recommendations to fix or improve your query performance as well. Okay, so this is really helpful view, and you can use query id to check if there are any insights available in the table and get the recommendations to improve your query performance as discussed. So this is the sample query. For that, though, you can go to snowflake.account usage.query insight, and you can mention your query id, and you can get all the insights that how your query is working and do it needs any further performance improvements or not.